The Suncoast community honoring the victims lost in the synagogue massacre in Pittsburgh. Plus, the man suspected of sending more than a dozen bombs to political leaders makes his first court appearance today. What we know about his fate so far. And we'll hear from parents who are trying to lower the speed limit near a local school. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening. President Trump and First Lady Melania are expected in Pittsburgh tomorrow to share in the grief for the 11 victims of the synagogue massacre. A judge denied bail to the gunman today as horrifying stories of survival and death poured out. ABC's Maggie Ruley has the latest from Pittsburgh.
Appearing in federal court today, witnesses say the alleged gunman in Saturday's massacre seemed calm and quiet, a chilling contrast to this. When police say Robert Bowers walked into this synagogue and opened fire on innocent worshipers.
I'm hearing people screaming, and it's seared in my brain. I can't erase that tape.
Rabbi Jeffrey Myers was the first to call 911.
Yeah, I heard one woman, I think I know who it was. My husband's been shot, screaming, and then that was quickly, and then afterwards she was silenced.
He says that woman, Bernice Simon, died alongside her husband Sylvan, together in the very same synagogue the two had been married in nearly 6 decades ago. 11 people killed because of their faith. Authorities say despite living a seemingly normal life, the shooter's hatred could be found online. Posts like these on a fringe site embraced by white supremacists where the suspect openly discussed his hatred for Jewish people. Archive posts from social media also appear to show he was focused on conspiracy theories about the migrant caravan of thousands of people making their way to the southern border. In the face of these dark revelations, Rabbi Myers says hate will not win.
We're a strong community, and it's made us even closer and stronger to bond even together.
The rabbi says he's now planning funerals, the first of many set to begin tomorrow. The president and first lady say they also plan to be here tomorrow so they can mourn with the community. Maggie Bruley, ABC News, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Well, the Suncoast community gathering tonight to remember those killed during that shooting at the synagogue in Pittsburgh. The vigil at the Sarasota Fairgrounds featured speakers from many different religions. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live with highlights from tonight's event. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, this was organized by the Jewish Federation. They moved it to this location because of the large crowd. Hundreds of people from all different faiths and political backgrounds came together as one, remembering the 11 people brutally murdered Saturday by a gunman shouting anti-Semitic remarks at the Tree of Life synagogue in Pittsburgh.
The Jewish people really of this community and adjoining communities really have a voice in this country and would like to be heard.
Their main message tonight is solidarity.
When you come to these kinds of events, I feel very proud to be Jewish and very proud to be part of a community that will come together in mere days of horrible tragedy, but try to be positive and try to heal all together.
Candles were lit for each of the 11 lives lost, and the crowd on hand lit up their phones and swayed to a few well-known Jewish songs.
I think it's important for not only the Jewish community to come together, but the entire community to come together. It's time for us to heal, and this is going to take some time. I think tonight is the first step to do that.
And in addition to the large crowd, there was a large police presence.
That was ABC7's Rick Adams. Now, and he was saying in addition to the large crowd, there was also a large police presence that was there to keep everyone safe. Now, ABC7 also talked with a Sarasota woman who was born and raised in Squirrel Hill, a neighborhood in Pittsburgh, and worshiped at the Tree of Life Synagogue. Ruth Lando described the area as a tight-knit community where everyone accepted each other and felt safe. She says Saturday's shooting came as a shock.
My heart is broken because I feel as though my children have these wonderful, innocent, loving memories of their childhood in Squirrel Hill and their time at Tree of Life and with their friends and cousins. And there are no words to describe the horror of it.
Lando says she did not know any of the people who were killed, but she does remember speaking with one of the 4 injured victims who was last listed in critical condition. The FBI says another suspicious package has been found, possibly sent by a serial mail bomb suspect. This comes the same day Cesar Sayoc, charged with sending explosive devices across the country, makes his first appearance in federal court. The FBI confirms a similar package was addressed to CNN's office in Atlanta, but was found at a post office. The nationwide manhunt started when the first pipe bomb was found in the mailbox of Democratic philanthropist George Soros last Monday.
He's innocent until proven guilty, and nobody has proven him guilty of sending those devices in the mail. So I can't give you any further information.
Sayoc is expected to be transferred from Miami to the Southern District of New York, where many of those explosive devices ended up. It's also where he will likely be prosecuted. Well, let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast. Bob, can we expect another beautiful day tomorrow?
Yeah, another beautiful day expected. It has been nice, hasn't it? Even though the temperatures were a couple degrees above average, it was the dew point temperature that made it seem so nice out there. Lower humidity around, although that's starting to increase somewhat. You can see that dew point number has come up to 66. Over the weekend, we were running into the 50s as far as that goes. Clear skies right now. We have light winds and the temperature at 68. And that means we have the potential for some patchy fog developing, and we may see some of that overnight. Titan radar picture not depicting any rainfall around as a result of a large area of high pressure, which continues to dominate the weather. This high is going to slip off a little bit to the east, and it's still going to switch our winds around a little bit more to the southeast, but mild conditions are expected tonight. Not cool weather like we saw this morning. Lows were down into the mid-50s. We'll see lows about 10 degrees warmer to start things off tomorrow. Well, we have a couple of different things going on. We have a weak frontal boundary that you see out there off in the Atlantic coast. It stretches right across the state now, and then this developing low pressure area here is going to eventually kick another front close to us, but that doesn't happen until Friday, so that's when that will happen. Warming up this week, we expect that to happen. Temperatures right now 68 degrees in Sarasota, it's 68 in Orlando, a little bit cooler in Jacksonville at 57 degrees and 74 in Key West. As far as temperatures go around town, all pretty much in the low 70s to mid 70s here along the west coast of Florida. The Gulf water temperature now has cooled down to 79 degrees, and that's a good factor as far as hurricane strengthening goes in the Gulf of Mexico. We had one front move through over the weekend, and now a high pressure will dominate our weather for the upcoming days. Another front approaches on Friday, brings with it a chance for showers and some storms. Well, more on that coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. An Inglewood man is accused of stabbing another man this morning. Charlotte County Sheriff's deputies say Kevin Dwyer assaulted another man outside the Faith Lutheran Church. When deputies got there, they found a man with a stab wound to his chest. Dwyer is wanted for the crime and may be in hiding. He does have a distinctive cross tattoo on his arm. If you recognize him, call Crime Stoppers. A follow-up now on the local efforts in the National Drug Take-Back Initiative. Sarasota police say they collected almost 50 pounds of unused, expired, and unwanted prescription drugs on Saturday. Members of the DEA will now collect those drugs that were dropped off and dispose of them properly. Sarasota PD also has a permanent drop box in the lobby of their headquarters that can be accessed from 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 p.m. any day of the week. An update now on the Lido Beach Renourishment Project. The city of Sarasota says the contractor is scheduled to begin shipping in equipment and pipes to the project area sometime in the next week or two. That actual work will begin no later than November 15th. City staff are still working to replace the trap bags on Lido Beach that were washed away by Hurricane Michael. And the future of the Lido Pavilion is still up in the air. The city says the application to redevelop a restaurant and other properties on Lido Pavilion is due to come back to the City Commission for a final consideration. A hearing is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, December 4th, but that hearing date will be discussed at the City Commission's next meeting on November 5th. Parents of students at a Venice private school are fighting to lower the nearby speed limit. This summer, it was reduced to 35 miles per hour, but parents say they're still concerned because that lower speed limit only covers half a block and the rest of the street remains at 45 miles per hour. They say they don't understand why the speed limit near a school would be like that and in an area with so much traffic remains so high. However, others say that reducing the speed by 10 miles per hour and the installation of these school zone signs is already a huge step in the right direction.
With the growth right down Center Road of housing developments. It's great for Venice. It's a wonderful thing, but the traffic patterns have increased tremendously. I would love to see it reduced down to a 25 with a flashing beacon.
Well, because that school, Venice Christian, is not a public school funded by the county, a school zone was not put in place originally, but Sarasota County did pay for that recent change, which the principal says was a good idea. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus an update on the new law regarding daylight saving time this year, and a look at the amendment that could give felons their voting rights back. We'll be right back.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
New images into our newsroom tonight of the devastation in the Florida Panhandle as the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office wraps up its mission there. The emergency response team is helping their fellow first responders in Bay County get back into their own homes following Hurricane Michael. An estimated 60 deputies lost their homes. More than 100 have homes that are now unlivable. Despite that devastation left behind, those first responders there report for duty every day to serve their community, while many of their own lives have been changed. And a big thank you for all they do, as well as the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office for going out there and helping them. They know
a lot of the agencies here, not just them, but a lot of agencies here along the Suncoast up there helping them out. And you know, this weekend they were down in the 40s there, so they went from heat to the cold there real quick. So things are getting back slowly to normal as far as weather goes. For us here, we're getting back to more average temperatures now. Maybe a little bit warmer over the next couple of days, and another cold front comes through. Beautiful. This was in the Holmes Beach, but this was Sarasota Bay right there. Beautiful shot from our ABC7 tower cam. as we watch the sun go down below the horizon, below the clouds that were out there, a little cloudiness well offshore, and some great and wonderful photos sent in from Sydney Desmond. Nice shot from Siesta right there. Pretty calm conditions. Warm up this week. We talked about that earlier. We're going to see temperatures back into the mid 80s with the humidity coming back into play. That's what's been so nice. It's been so comfortable out there with the lower moisture content in the lower part of the atmosphere. Another front arrives on Friday. Yes, it will bring us some rainfall and yes, some cooler temperatures to follow behind it. And then a hurricane is out there in the Atlantic. It's getting stronger, but no threat to land, and doesn't appear it will be over the next couple of days. Could cause some problems into England and Ireland down the end of this work week. For us, high pressure, as I mentioned, in control right now over the southeast. It will eventually get bumped out of here and placed to the east of the state, which will bring us more of a southeasterly wind flow on Wednesday, and that will start to bring our humidity values back up a little bit, and it feels like temperatures will go a little higher. Dry air in place right now. It should be another comfortable start to tomorrow morning. However, it won't be as cool as it has been. We've been in the 50s last couple of mornings, probably low to mid 60s for the most part across most of the area. The hourly planner starts off into the mid 60s and will warm up to around 83, 84 degrees in the afternoon in most places, maybe a little bit warmer east of I-75. Our average high for this time of year at 83 degrees, so it will be at or slightly above average. The GFS forecast model showing sunshine tomorrow as this high pressure ridge dominates the weather, and then that slips off to the east, and this frontal system approaches, and it looks like as we move through Thursday, we'll start to see an increase in cloudiness throughout the afternoon, and a chance for showers comes on Friday. It looks like mainly in the afternoon and evening. There's an isolated chance to see some thunderstorms with this front. Not a lot of activity anticipated, but we will see some rainfall. And then by Saturday, it should kind of clear out of here by midday. And then Sunday, a mixture of sun and clouds. That front will hang out to the south and then kind of work back as a warm front on Monday, and then it'll bring us a chance for showers on Monday. Well, we still have a month and a couple of days before the official end of this active hurricane season. And this is Oscar out here. Pretty amazing that it has a well-distinct small eye to it right now. It's actually gaining strength right now. It's up to Category 2 status. You see the models forecast to the north, then the northeast, well away from Bermuda, and eventually tracking off toward, looks like England and Ireland down the road. Now, as far as the latest goes on the winds, it continues to gain strength. It's at 105-mile-an-hour winds now. It's moving to the north at 9, and will continue in that general direction. Eventually, as I said, heading off toward possibly Ireland and England. We'll see how it plays out down the road. It's been an active season, 15 named storms thus far, and 8 of those hurricanes with 2 major storms. Currently here, we have clear skies and 68 degrees. It's calm out there, possibility of some patchy fog. And then the high today did warm to 83, our normal high at 82 degrees, so 1 degree above average, and this morning's low was nice and cool at 54. Here's your 7-day forecast as we see it. 85, lots of sunshine tomorrow. And for Wednesday, Halloween looks good. Sunshine, a little bit on the warm side for the trick-or-treaters. And then on Thursday, a 20% chance for shower. Look for a little bit more cloudiness around. Friday looks to be cloudy with a 70% chance for mainly showers, a few isolated thunderstorms possible. And remember, don't forget to, before you go to bed on Saturday or early Sunday morning, to move your clock back 1 hour as we change time. Sunday looks good, 81 for high after a 57-degree low to start things off. So it should be pretty nice for the weekend.
Thanks, Bob. As you just mentioned, Floridians will still need to set their clocks back 1 hour this Saturday, despite the governor signing a bill that would allow the entire state to remain in daylight saving time year-round. That decision ultimately falls on Congress, whose approval is needed to change federal law. Congress is not expected to vote anytime soon on that proposed change, however. The Florida legislature passed the Sunshine Protection Act earlier this year to keep daylight saving time permanently. Meanwhile, Amendment 4 will restore the right to vote for people who were convicted of felonies and who have completed their sentences, paid restitution, and fulfilled parole or probation requirements. Murderers and sex offenders would be excluded, however. Backers of the amendment estimate that about 1.4 million Floridians would have their voting rights restored if the required 60% of voters approve it. Supporters feel people should get their rights back as soon as their debt to society has been paid.
What you have in Florida is a rapidly expanding population of people who have no voice in their government. And if this amendment were to pass, be approved by Florida voters, The vast majority of people who are completing their sentences would routinely regain their voting eligibility.
Next week's vote on Amendment 4 comes as Governor Rick Scott and the Florida cabinet, which now control voter rights restoration, fight a federal judge's ruling that says the state's system is unconstitutional. A statewide organization known as Article 6 is initiating Operation Tailgate during the midterm election. That group is made up of military veterans and first responders, and they say their mission is to protect the U.S. Constitution. So this midterm season, they'll be monitoring polling locations across the state, gathering evidence of harassment, intimidation, voting at multiple locations, or other illegal activities that could compromise a fair election process. And researchers have found for years that most younger voters are overwhelmingly Democrat. But one well-known Bay Area former college professor says it's not that one-sided. Dr. Susan McManus says many young Republicans tend to stay quiet about their political preferences. She says the same trend is true of adults, as we saw by the incorrect polling done from the last presidential election. McManus says the reality among college students is more close to 50-50.
It's just that young Republicans are not as vociferous. They're a bit intimidated. If they say something, they're going to be badgered and so forth, so they just keep quiet.
In Sarasota County, only 10% of voters are under the age of 30. Turnout so far in Sarasota is nearly 27%. Election Supervisor Ron Turner predicts at least 60% when the polls close next Tuesday night. And as a reminder, this is the final week for early voting. In Manatee County, voters can cast ballots from 8:30 to 6:30 at 5 locations. That includes the Lakewood Ranch Town Hall, Manatee County Utilities Administration offices, numerous libraries in the Supervisor of Elections office. In Sarasota County, you can vote at the 3 Supervisor of Elections office in Sarasota, Venice, and Northport, as well as the North Sarasota Library, Fruitville Library, and Westfield Sarasota Square Mall. Those locations are open as well from 8:30 to 6:30. Early voting in both Sarasota and Manatee counties runs through Saturday, November 3rd. Consumer News is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Kimmel's bursting with joy. It's as simple as that. From the Nutcracker and the Four Realms, get to know Morgan Freeman. I'm a chocoholic. Plus, the always entertaining Bill Burr. Ladies, come on. And music from Gaz Coombs. Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC.
Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it.
There are lots of people who are confused about which Medicare plan is right for them.
Hey, that's me. I barely know where to start.
Well, start here with me, Karen. I'm a licensed Humana sales agent.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Karen. I'm John Smith.
Hi, John. At Humana, we know you're unique, so you have different needs from other John Smiths.
Yeah, I've always thought so.
And together, we can find a plan that's right for you.
Great. I go to the doctor a couple of times a year, and I have some prescriptions, but I'm never fully sure of what's covered and what's not.
With Humana's all-in-one Medicare Advantage plans, you get coverage for hospital stays, doctor visits, and Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable and sometimes no monthly plan premium.
Do you have any more information?
Sure. I'll get a decision guide in the mail to you today. They're free.
Finally, someone who understands the real me.
Your health and happiness is important to us. Call or go online now to get your free decision guide. Call a licensed Humana sales agent today.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
My grandpa was always telling me about it,
But the civil rights thing happened like a million years ago.
Still, he thought it was important that I know what it was like.
So we followed the civil rights trail to Alabama. We saw Dr. King's church,
The bridge in Selma, the church in Birmingham, and I finally knew what he was talking about.
Some things you just have to experience for yourself.
Start your civil rights journey at alabama.travel.
Best Buy is expanding its toy selection at its 1,000 U.S. stores. The company is hoping the holiday season will bring in sales left behind by the now bankrupt Toys R Us. Best Buy will also mail out a toy catalog for the second year in a row, but Best Buy is not the only retailer promoting toys. Walmart, Target, Party City, and Kohl's have also been taking steps to build up their toy inventory. Children are getting their own credit cards at an earlier age, which can be a good way to teach them how to properly manage their money. But far more parents are also allowing their kids to use their credit cards, which may not be such a wise decision. A survey by Compare Cards found 52% of parents have allowed their kids under 18 to use their credit cards to make online purchases. 48% of the parents who did that now say they regret it. The survey found parents think the best age for a child to get a credit card is 21, but some personal finance advisors think that is a little too late. And financial education could be the key to reducing student loan stress. A new study by researchers at the University of Missouri found many students aren't aware of the countless options they have to repay their loans, which can lead to a great deal of stress. 55% reported being worried about their student loans. However, only 30% of borrowers said they had received financial education about paying off those loans. Student loans are an important investment, and as the study shows, preparation and education are key in making the best financial decisions. PepsiCo has announced a new goal to reduce its use of plastic packaging and increase its use of recycled plastic. The food and beverage manufacturer said it aims to use 25% recycled content in its plastic packaging by the year 2025. That's a look at consumer news. We'll have your winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
The body, it is a work of art and a powerful ally in the fight against cancer. A new approach called immunotherapy works by helping our immune system correctly identify and eradicate many types of cancer cells. Speak with your doctor and visit su2c.org/immunotherapy to learn more. Your body might just be your greatest hope.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
The Florida Keys annual Fantasy Fest celebrations are winding down after 10 days. Roughly 60,000 people gathered on Saturday night in the island city of Key West for a flamboyant parade. This year's festival theme was "Oh, the Games We Play." Many of those groups in the parade wore costumes inspired by classic board games and casinos. Very bright and colorful as well. According to Keys tourism officials, Fantasy Fest typically brings about $30 million in annual revenues to the island chain. The theme for next year's festival will be "In Tune but Off Key," celebrating 40 years of fantasy.
All right. Yeah, looks like a lot of fun out there. There's some pretty good weather. We have some good weather here, too, with some beautiful photos. Fred Seeger getting that one. And Michael from Sarasota. There's the, again, nice Sarasota Bay with the Ringling Bridge. And this is Terracea. Susan Humphreys getting this. A nice day tomorrow, too. And high temperatures in the mid-80s.
All right. Thanks so much, Bob. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Have a good one.